Dear God, the PlayStation 3. Hello everybody, it's Gameboii10 here. Watch part 1 and 2 before this video. You already heard what I said. PS3 is my least favorite, okay? Microsoft and Nintendo just kick way more ass. Sony can suck the tip of my cock, and there are a few reasons why, but I'll have to say it when I drink my Pepsi. This deserves a drink of Pepsi. It's utterly terrible. Okay. My first problem I have, the biggest problem of all, and this is just so terrible, it might blow your fucking mind. They steal so many fucking ideas from so many other companies, it blows my goddamn mind. Now, there are some games that are completely different, and there are some games where it's just, you want to rip their fucking dick out, because it's just so unbelievably the same with other games. I mean, what's a good example? A very big example that might not be very noticeable, but it actually is for, like, players who actually play the game casually. God of War is very similar to a game like, what do they call it? Fuck it, whatever. That I had it, but I don't remember what it was now. And you know what? I just realized God of War is the same system. Shit. Oh well. But even then, like, there's so many games that are similar. I mean, like, PlayStation 3 has Little Big Planet. And let me tell you about this. This is a big story that's actually kind of interesting, I've learned. And not many people know about this. And this is why I believe PlayStation is very much guilty of copying games. Go back to 2006. Upon the time of 2006, the DS released a game. It was New Super Mario Bros. A very big series that spawned one extra sequel and a second sequel that pretty much became unreleased and possibly canceled. What this caused was just a very big amount of sales on the DS, and that's what everybody wanted to get in their gaming library, was New Super Mario Bros. Because it was so revolutionary. Upon around that same time, in November 2000, I believe it was November 2006, or it was November 2007, something like that, Super Mario Galaxy was released. This caused gamers to freak out and want to buy a Nintendo Wii, because finally the sequel to Super Mario Sunshine's 3D platforming series with Super Mario 64 had finally spawned another sequel. So this caused Sony to make another product because they didn't have much of a choice. So they decided to make a game called Little Big Planet, conveniently released after Super Mario Galaxy and New Super Mario Bros. Was released. The gameplay was exactly similar to New Super Mario Bros. Mixed in with Mario Galaxy pieces because of the fact that you can walk onto some platforms around as if it was a planet. And, of course, the name has planet on it, but still, that doesn't really imply that you can walk around on little circles and whatnot. It's just there. The other big thing is that adds on to this fact that they're taking this from that, is that New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Super Mario Galaxy 2 were also released before Little Big Planet 2 came out. And Little Big Planet 2, they said, was because of the success of Little Big Planet 1. But what they were really doing was sneaking up behind Nintendo's ass and trying to make another good game. Which, unfortunately, the game was the biggest failure that Sony ever had. And I'm gonna say that right now, because it probably was. It just didn't get any sales. Everybody started to figure it out, and everybody gave up. It was just total crap. That and Mod Nation Racers was another one. Mario Kart has been here for so long, and then Mod Nation Racers comes by. The only thing they add on to it that makes it so goddamn special is you can create your own tracks. Well, fuck you, like, tip of the hat, wag of the finger, making Colbert Report references here. In all honesty, no one gave a fucking shit about this game because they knew Mario Kart was already out, everybody already bought it on the Wii, nobody needed this fucking crap. And Guitar Hero even had Rock Band and whatnot. But, like, they had Guitar Hero on the PlayStation 1 or 2. I think it was PlayStation 2. So, they had one good game. And then they had to share it. Because they knew that Sony was not going to continue their awesome exploits. They just didn't feel right. With the console only being on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 and whatnot, they had to share it to other consoles, which became Xbox and Wii. Anyway, that's something completely different. I'm going to go into something more in depth. The PlayStation 3 controller. There's a few controllers out there, and one of them that interests me the most is the PlayStation Move. What the hell did this come from? This thing is a fucking dildo controller that, like, people thought that the Wii was a dildo controller. Well, look how much of a dildo this thing is. It had a fucking pink light on the beta. I don't even know if the original one that's here now even has the pink little dildo plug-in thing. It's seriously ridiculously sad how stupid this piece of shit looks. And the beta, which actually has photos, and the picture, yes, is real, if people were wondering. It's not like that stupid iPhone 5 keyboard thing that they have on YouTube. It's not the same as that kind of bullshit. This was actually a legitimate picture that was put in on Sony, accidentally leaked. And it did look like the Wii's Wii Remote, the exact same as the beta Wii Remote. It was the exact same. So they had to close it, and they decided to reinvent the console controller because everybody was freaking out about the same thing. They knew this. Sony was copying off of the Wii Remote, and they knew it right off the bat. That's what fucked them over, because Sony does not have a good marketing campaign. They're so pathetic that they're like the pop companies, and yes, I am putting pop music into this. They just steal everything from everyone else. They're just remaking songs, and PlayStation 3 is remaking things that have already come out. Like, again, New Super Mario Brothers, now it's just a Little Big Planet. The Wii Remote turns into the PlayStation Move. And why the fuck does it have a nunchuck? It even has a nunchuck. That's how pathetic it is. It seriously can't even have its own little extras. It's so sad how stupid this is. And yet, they still call this a revolutionary device. Yeah, okay, my ass. There was maybe 4 fucking games released for it, and one of them was barely interesting, and then the rest of them were just no one gives a fuck. Seriously, does anybody know any good games on the PlayStation Move games? Honestly, maybe hunting. That's the closest you'll get to anything interesting. And maybe the other game there, fucking X whatever fuck it's called. It'll come to me. But honestly, Sony just has the shittiest little mushroom-shaped piece of shit-sized console. The other thing is the game console itself is way too fucking expensive. I don't want Blu-ray. I don't give a fuck about Blu-ray. I don't want to replace my DVDs with Blu-rays. And everybody always says this, but eventually we're going to start getting them. We already got a Blu-ray player just recently, and we got it for a very cheap $200. PlayStation 3 started off at a whopping $800 on the day of release, with the pre-order and whatnot, and it went straight down to what we know now is $399 for the, I believe it's 160 gigabytes of the console, something like that. That's pretty still fucking pathetic, and you have to think about that in a very big sense, because it's still honestly just really bad how bad the pricing is, just because of the Blu-ray. You have to put the Blu-ray away, they're in the fucking garbage. Then maybe your console would sell a little bit more. The other problem is your internet is terrible. Your connections are pathetic, and your hacking problem that you had really brought you down. Because guess what happened? You had to get fucking Microsoft, for God's sakes, to fix your fucking problem. If you have to have another fucking gaming console company to fix your fucking problem, you have a fucking problem. Period. Your company doesn't even know what they're fucking doing. And that's what's fucking messed. And yet people like this console the most. Why? They're so inconsistent. They're so terrible, and they're fucking stupid. They don't know what they're doing. Their marketing sucks. Anyway, that's my rant. Thanks for watching this entire war, and I hope you guys enjoy.